Alright, so before I get back out and keep doing my drills, I wanted to show you a quick little tip on how to keep your paint fresh. My name's Greg, and you're watching How to Play Paintball. So let's say that you're done with practice. I'm sure you've had to rip open bags. Some of them might have holes from top to bottom because some people rip from the middle of the bag. Please don't do that. That's just a side note. Rip it from the top part, like the corner, so you can pour it in, not the middle of the bag. It's just going to fall all over the place. I don't know why people do that, but they do. But that's just a pet peeve of mine, I guess. But let's say you got another pod full of paint. You don't want to dump it because paintball's expensive, so let's hold on to the paint for next week or for the future. So whenever you have paint in your pods and it's stacked to the top like we had talked about, so you can't really hear it when you shake it, because you don't want to have the paint rattling around in there, and then if you dive it breaks paint in the pod, which we had gone over in another video. So I hope that's been helping you guys out with saving some paint. But now it's the end of the day, so something that we used to do is called burping pods. So you would just take the first couple out of the top, and I'm just gonna put it in my hopper because I'm gonna be shooting it anyway. So there's a little bit of room at the top, so it can move around, and it's not going to stay compressed. So if the heat gets to it, it's not going to get like dimply and make the paint bad or anything like that, or they get clumped together. So this is the only time that you want to hear a pod shake around like that. So that's for pods. But something that I like to do, Ziploc bags. I look really just ghetto using this, but it works. I've been doing it for a little bit where I have a couple of Ziploc bags with me. If you want to look a little bit better, anytime you see a GI team and they aren't using these, if you want to ask them, I'm sure they'll probably just give them to you. But it's a Ziploc, and it's just really big, and it has a cool carrying handle at the top too, so it just makes it easier to carry it around. So I've held this, I don't even know when I got this actually, but I just had it for a while and just been using it. But something else that I like to do is these little silica packets. I know Empire has been putting them in, and they're the bigger ones, which is good. Valken used to have the smaller ones, and it would get stuck in your hopper because you wouldn't be able to see it. So they fixed that. So I think Valken uses them as well. But I like to hold on to these. And the reason being is I'll throw it in with my paint, and it just helps with keeping the moisture away from it and all that. Now, it might just be a placebo for me. Honestly, I've just been doing it and my paint's been good. The only issues that I've had, like I got to practice with damage, and by the end of the day I was having a couple little barrel breaks, but it's hot out here in Florida, so eventually the heat's going to get to the paint. Nothing you can do about that. But when it's in your house and it's nice and cool, you also don't want to have any moisture in there, so I'll just put it in there with a Ziploc and just hold on to them. Now, you're not going to mistake this. Like, if somehow this fell into your pod, there's no way that you're going to be able to not see that. So you'd be able to pull it out. Obviously, for tournaments, you're not going to be carrying these around. I don't think the tournament paint has it in there. I don't think Empire or GI has that. I don't know if Valken's going to be doing that, but they've just gotten back into the tournament scene, so hopefully they don't, just because it can become an issue. But for practice paint, you might have these in there. And it's just been something that I've been holding on to. I actually just found one inside of a bag, so it's not dirty. And I'm just going to hold on to it. Throw it in with the paint, and it'll make it last a little bit longer. And, it's always good to have fresh paint. So, guys, I know it's going to be a little bit kind of ghetto to put stuff in Ziploc bags or, whatever. But I hope that helps you out. I know it's a weird tip, but it's something that I've done, and because I just want to keep my paint fresh, even though it is in an air-conditioned room. It's in my my bedroom, actually in the closet, so the cat can't get to it. And I mean, it's been working great, because you want to keep it in a climate-controlled space, just because that's going to be best for the paint. Because if it gets too hot, then it's gonna get warped, and if it's too cold, if you're shooting it right away, it might be a little bit too brittle. But guys, I hope that this tip helps you. And yeah, as always, remember, watch, learn, and win. Thanks.